Norman Ollestad, welcome to Cologne.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
You lost your father during a plane crash when you were 11 years old. You survived because your father has taught you how to get through extreme situations in life. Is writing an act of surviving for you?
Well, writing is hard, so yeah, I feel like there's a little bit of survival when I'm writing. But writing that book in particular was a way to celebrate my father. That's why I wrote it. The airplane crash is not interesting to me, but it just happens to be sort of the main climax of our relationship in a lot of ways, because I had to take everything he taught me and put it to use, and there was no room for learning. It had to just happen right then. I wasn't conscious of it at the time. It took me all these years and I had a son. And when he turned 4, I started to realize what went on, that I had this unique relationship with my father, and that it wasn't just normal what we did, and that the things he taught me in particular got me down that mountain. And more than that, really helped me. I can find ways to enjoy life when I want to, even when life is trying not to have fun for me, it's trying to stop me from having fun. I can still find a way to have fun.
Is storytelling and writing also an act of remembering and preserving your father?
As a writer, I got to the point where I thought, well, this is a good story. I didn't think of it that way before, believe it or not. It was just my life, so it seemed like, who cares? But as I got older, and as my son got older, I started to think, oh, this is a good story. This means something. This is worth writing. And so the approach was, the way to write it for me was to celebrate my father. That got the passion going. I didn't think about anything more than that. And in fact, I thought there was a good chance that people would say, who cares about what you did in 1977 on some beach or in some jungle in Mexico, which I would say, okay, but it just so happens that people did care. So that was a nice result.
You already mentioned that the time between the experience and the writing of your book was quite long. Did you need that time to let the story sit in order to be able to craft something that is more than just a memoir, but that becomes a very literary autobiography?
Well, I'm glad you said that, because, I don't want to say that, but that's how I tried to write it. I don't like memoirs, to tell you the truth. Yeah. So I didn't write it like a memoir. I approached it just how I would any story. And after a while, I was just a character in that story. So yes, that's what I wanted to do. So I'm glad you said that. Yeah, it's a literary piece of work that just happens to be true.
Was it difficult for you to go back in life and experience all this loss and this extreme pain again when you wrote the book?
The only way was to sort of be writing a story, Once I could sink in and I was just writing a story and I was just a character in that story, it was okay. But I would get sore throats. Not when I was writing, it was kind of fine. It was the moment I would finish and the rest of the day. I would have sore throats and always tired, and I had to make myself exercise a lot so that I didn't sort of spiral down. I could tell, and I would just stop working if that happened, because I have to keep, my physical side has to be fresh, and that keeps my mind fresh.
You already mentioned that your son also plays a very important role in starting to really write the story down. What is the most important thing that you want to teach your son for life?
I want to give him the tools, the ideas and the physical, both, because I think they're the same. They sort of weave together. One feeds off the other, to enjoy life. Because it can be hard to enjoy life. I mean, it seems it's just a word or something, but you have to work at that. You have to know how to do it. And that's what I hope to give him.
Your book has been called a homage to life, as more than just living or surviving. What makes your life special?
Well, I don't know if it's necessarily special. I suppose because I had something happen to me that doesn't happen to most people, which is a plane crash. But it was a nice engine to drive the story, for sure. But I could have written just about going to Mexico with my father, that section in the book. That's my favorite part of the book. And that captures really what we were about. So special is only because everybody's life, believe it or not, I believe that could be special if you find the right thing in it to talk about.
Margaret Atwood, who is one of my favorite authors, once wrote, and now I quote, "A word after a word after a word means power." Where does the power of words lay for you?
Well, I have a funny relationship with the words because what I'm trying to get to is an experience. And so the words are what I have to get there because I don't paint or anything. So I have a little love-hate because they never are the experience. They're just words. So, I might be different than a lot of authors. I mean, language to me is the only thing I have to try to get you there. But, it's really hard. I keep distilling and working and trying to find the right 2 words or 3 that come together that create a kind of almost kinetic feeling for you while you're reading. That's how I approach it. I don't like that space that words can create a lot of the time, where you know what that word means, so then you have this dictionary or something. I don't like that. I want the word to actually be the thing. So I have a funny relationship with it. That's all I can say.